All right, today we're going to dive into the really strange and fascinating world of a man who called himself T. Lobsang Rampa. His books became a guide to the invisible world for millions of people. I'm talking everything from seeing auras to traveling on the astral plane. But here's the big question. Was this guy a genuine mystic, or was he pulling off one of the greatest spiritual cons of all time?
Now listen to this. That was Rampa's defiant answer to anyone who doubted him. You see, despite all the controversy around who he really was, he never, ever backed down. He just flat out insisted that every single word he wrote was the absolute truth. You can just feel the conviction in that statement, right? And that's really key to understanding the man himself.
So, that begs the question, doesn't it? Who was this mysterious figure? Because before we can really get into his teachings, we've got to grapple with the incredible identity he claimed for himself.
I mean, just look at these claims. Rampa wasn't saying he was just some spiritual guru. Oh no. He said he was a High Lama from Tibet and a qualified medical doctor to boot. And he was absolutely convinced that the media, the newspapers, the TV stations, they weren't just skeptical. He believed they were actively working to shut him down, to suppress his truth and stop him from proving he was the real deal.
So, what was this truth that he fought so hard to defend? Well, it was this incredibly detailed vision of our spiritual anatomy. He described this whole set of invisible parts that exist in and around all of us. Components, he said, were just as real as, your heart or your lungs. Okay, so it all starts with what Rampa called the Overself. Now, this isn't just your soul, it's much bigger than that. It's you, your true immortal self. Think of it like the master controller, the main command center, living on a higher plane and kind of directing the show down here on Earth. And Rampa had this perfect metaphor for it. He said our physical bodies here on Earth, they're basically just puppets. And the Overself is the one pulling all the strings, sending down all the commands. So that's a cool idea, but how does that actually work? How does the puppet master control the puppet? Well, the connection is made through what he called the silver cord. You can picture it as this high-frequency energy beam, a direct line of communication. It's a two-way street. It sends commands down to the body, and it sends all of our earthly experiences right back up to the Overself. Now, this entire spiritual system, all of it, generates a visible field of energy. Rampa called it the aura, this egg-shaped halo of colored light that surrounds every single living thing. And he said it's like a readout, revealing the true state of your health, both spiritual and physical. And the craziest part? He insisted that anyone could learn to see it. This image right here, it really sums up his entire worldview. For Rampa, everything was vibration. I mean, everything. From the physical feeling of touch to something as out there as telepathy. It's all just a different rate of vibration, like individual notes on this vast cosmic keyboard. And the thing about Rampal is that he didn't just talk about these ideas in the abstract. Nope, he provided practical, step-by-step instructions. He was adamant that if you just put in the practice, anyone could learn to perceive this invisible world for themselves. So here's his method if you want to give it a shot. Get into a dimly lit room with a dark, neutral background. Stand or sit naked in front of a full-length mirror. The key, he said, is to just relax your eyes and gaze idly without straining. Just kind of look past your outline. The first thing you might see is what he calls the etheric body, this faint bluish haze, shimmering like the flame from burning alcohol. So, okay, let's say you see these colors. What do they mean? Well, this table breaks it down. According to Rampa, every color has both a positive and a, quote, debased meaning. For instance, a pure, clear red shows courage and leadership. But if that red gets muddy or dark, it points to a vicious temper. He even describes a cowardly yellow as the color of bad cheddar cheese. You can just picture that, can't you? All right, so we've gone from just perceiving these energy fields to the next incredible step, consciously leaving your physical body to go explore other planes of existence. Rampa taught that astral travel wasn't some fantasy, but a natural ability we all have. It's the experience of your astral self, still connected by that silver cord, by the way, separating from the physical body to journey through the spiritual worlds. So how did he say you could do it? First, your body has to be completely comfortable. Then you just lie down and you concentrate, really focus on the idea of leaving it. Rampa describes this strange sensation of pushing against a kind of membrane, like a giant rubber balloon, until all of a sudden,
there's a little snap, and you break free, and you find yourself just floating above, looking down at your own body. And once you're out, you can travel anywhere with the speed of thought. You might encounter what he called nature spirits, which he said are usually pretty pleasant. Or if you drift into the lower astral planes, you could meet some strange, bizarre creatures he called elementals. But he was very clear on one point. They're basically harmless. They feed on fear, so if you show none, they have no power over you at all. Now, the return journey is just as vital as the departure. Rampa warned that you have to re-enter the body slowly and carefully, letting the two forms synchronize perfectly. If you have a clumsy, jarring re-entry, it can leave you in a black and gloomy mood for hours afterward. So what's the whole point of seeing auras and traveling the astral plane? For Rampa, it all leads back to understanding the universal laws that govern our existence and our spiritual progress, not just in this life, but across many lifetimes. He called it karma, spelled with a KH. It's the fundamental law of cause and effect. The principle is simple. As ye sow, so shall ye reap. Every action, good or bad, creates a kind of cosmic debt that has to be paid, whether it's in this life or the next. And this next idea might be one of his most radical. Rampa taught that nothing in our lives is random. We actually plan it all. Before birth, as a spirit, you meet with advisors, you review your past mistakes, and you consciously choose the parents and circumstances for your next life. He even claimed we often choose hardship on purpose because it teaches lessons more permanently than an easy life ever could. So the crucial point of this entire system, then, is that Earth is basically a schoolhouse. All the stuff we chase after, money, status, possessions, it's all temporary. It all gets left behind. The only things of true value, the only things you take with you to the next life, are the knowledge and the spiritual lessons you've learned along the way. Which brings us right back around to that central question. Was Lobsang Rampa offering a genuine guide to unlocking our hidden human potential? Or was he the author of one of the most elaborate and compelling metaphysical fantasies ever written? Ultimately, that's for you to decide.